Well, guys, April Fool's isn't over yet, and look at it. It is snowing. We have about a 1/4 inch on this concrete surface that's not treated. And this is on the northwest corner of the Twin Cities. I got reports in from other operators saying that the central part of the Twin Cities has about a 1/2 inch at this point. And then if you go south of 494, you're looking at about 1 inch. Again, heavy, wet, very wet snow. They are saying we're supposed to get rain here at about 3 a.m. This will continue till about 12:30, producing anywhere from 2 to 4. So we will see. We'll see what she does. Let's go check on the guys and see how they're doing. Well, here we go. It's now 10 p.m. on April Fool's. We have about, I don't know, an hour and a half left. Here we go, setting up the GoPro. We're gonna do ourselves an arm workout. Alright guys, so we finished that arm workout, and that arm workout is so important. After talking to multiple different manufacturer mechanics, they explained to us the importance of doing this, especially when we're pushing snow with these machines, because snow plowing really doesn't work the machine strong enough. They emphasize this arm workout on the bigger loaders, so our 26,000 pound, our larger, our Volvo L60s, our Doosan DL200s, 250s, our John Deere 644K. And basically we've just implemented that across the entire training process with operators on all machines. So obviously by doing the arm workout, moving the hydraulics is really what gets the engine temp up and running. So especially if your machine is a DEF related machine, it is so important to do that, especially on those colder nights. Now obviously we're not in a colder frame anymore. Temperatures at this storm, I believe, if I remember right, we're about 33 degrees. So we're nowhere near that like super cold point anymore. But from our understanding is that, if you've ever had to do a service call for a frozen DEF tank or anything like that, even after plowing in a couple hours in a machine, it's because when you're plowing snow, you're pushing it and you're lifting your boom only when you get to the end of the pile. You're really not using the engine to that full potential to get it nice and warm. And so that is why we've implemented the arm workout here in all machines. It just kind of gets the temp up there, it gets things up and running, especially when that DEF tank is wrapped with the heater coolant from the engine. And basically as that engine temp warms, it warms that tank and melts that entire DEF fluid inside there. Now granted, DEF is a terrible thing anyways, and wish it wasn't in these machines, wish you could take it out, but you can't, at least not yet. So this is just kind of a quick fix. Kind of seems to be, it saved us a lot of issues since we first learned about this back in 3 years ago in the big winter of 109 inches. A tech was like, well man, you really gotta work those hydraulics in order to get these engines up to temp. Snow plowing just really doesn't do it. So did that, completed. Here we go. We are snow plowing a Home Depot here in the Twin Cities. We got about 1 inch of snow, trying to bust this thing out so that all reaccumulating snow after this point will just melt. We are still expecting that rain, just not sure when that rain's going to come. And as you can see, as we're clearing here, we're going straight to blacktop. We will get a little bit of reaccumulation throughout the night as temperatures hit that bewitching hour. where we get a little close to freezing again, and you'll see that it kind of puts that white film back on. But then you'll see that the pavement temperature is so warm, it's actually fighting the snow that's reaccumulating and basically melting it at the same time. Thanks for watching the video. And again, you'll hear me comment a lot how we absolutely love the John Deere 244, not just because of the dealer support, but strictly because this machine and the all-wheel steer. You'll hear from a lot of people that they will say, well, all compact wheelers can do that, and that's just not true. They don't. We've owned and own multiple different manufacturing brands, the Cat 908, the Case 21F, the 321F, the 221F, and the Kubota L60, and they don't have that all-wheel steer function. Obviously, still amazing machines. The compact loaders are absolutely monsters, especially for snow removal. Absolutely love the compact loaders, but yeah, they're just not the same. There's something about it until you're pushing a big snowstorm, and you're able to just keep that momentum moving because the tires turn with you. You don't have to have that abrupt turn or that swing where you lose that momentum. Just makes these things absolute monsters. Again, all the other compact loaders are awesome machines as well. Not saying that they're not. I'm just saying our personal opinion, these all-wheel steer 244s are just monsters for snow removal. We got the winter equipment on our Arctic sectional snow pusher here. Again, trying to make those plows last as long as possible. Also trying to make maintenance as easy as possible. So we got the carbide edges on there. So the hope is that, basically come end of season, this plow, we'll check the springs, we'll check the pucks. Hopefully we're good to go. Basically, we'll just put it in the good pile, and then next year we'll pull it out and drop it back on site. We won't have to touch anything with it. So that's how we kind of set the system up here, and it seems to work for us really well. Obviously, everyone has their own opinion and their own strategy, and this is just ours. Thanks for watching. All right, we are now April 2nd. It is 0:13 right now. We're pulling into one of our facilities that we take care of. Guys have been rolling here for a couple hours now. Looks good. We got melt going on. Already plowed the roads. That looks really good. Temperature on my truck is reading 33 degrees. Sidewalks have been taken care of, broomed. Yeah, looks really good. Let's see if we can get it better. Got a little detail work. They're not done. Still working. Mother Nature, man. It's raining right now. We talked about put a couple inches of snow on the grass. Now it's raining. It's supposed to rain here now for the next couple hours. Got the emergency route done. Last one after the season? I don't know. This one, everyone was saying was going to kind of bust out, but as you can see, Shouldn't fully bust out. Now, but wasn't like that an hour and a half ago. Winter equipment, motor shoes, carbide edges, 14-foot Arctic, Volvo L60. We're gonna move on to the townhome portion. We don't take that. Take those in house. Sidewalk, and then the main facility and all the lots associated with townhome and the facilities. This property got hit pretty hard by the airport here. Last season, we just took out February. We have 20 of them left at the end of replacement. Obviously, losing 40 big mature trees is sad. Absolutely gotta love plowing slush. It's like one of the best feelings in the world. If you can sense the sarcasm in my voice. Nothing like moving some water around. I won't be spending too much more time here. Basically just want to kind of help the remaining snow melt through here before store opens. It's 1:15. We got about 5 hours before this Home Depot opens. And I just don't want to have some of this excess snow here on the lot. Really don't want to have to use salt. They were saying at 3 o'clock we're supposed to get rain, so if that's true, that will take everything else down here to pure water and whatnot. But slush plowing is slush plowing. That's what happens in April and March. The first property I was on had about an inch of snow, maybe a little over in spots. By the time I left there, the spots I didn't plow had about a quarter to a half. Went and checked on some operators working on a different facility, checking their DEF levels and their diesel fuel. By the time I got here, which should have been plenty of snow, I think this was even on the heavier side of snow accumulation. Lots going on. Day of the life of a snowplow operator, snow fighter. With the roller coaster of weather that we've gotten, it can end at any time though. It's gotten to that point where basically we're living the same week on repeat for the last 3 weeks, and it's just time. It's time to be done. Us with early 70, almost 80 degree weather. February and March, and now we are staying in the 30s, 40s with snow, which is actually a normal temperature for us at this time of year.